like Sergeant Greeka, but we didn't have Vinny back then because we didn't. Well, maybe we did. Yeah, I think we probably did after Vinny's, and yeah.
We did the Oops open
so we knew what we wanted to do, and we kind of showed it to him, and he was like, oh, it's a good idea, and that was kind of it. And then probably like a year later.
It was 2 years after we had the meeting with him that he gave us the green light. So, like, tracking back to Sunrise Grill, like, and I was going through therapy, I knew that I wanted to own my own restaurant. I knew that it was like, and I didn't know what it was going to be called yet, but I kind of figured it out shortly. It was like Combat Cafe. And then I thought to myself, and I just wrote things down. Like, years before it was a thing, I was talking about it and doing it. And that's how we had a menu to bring to James Rosingen, and then it's hard as hell to get to get time with this guy, like, you know what I'm saying. So he afforded us the opportunity to sit down and talk with him, and he appreciated our idea.
And he believed in us.
Where in America is there a breakfast and lunch place that is like American themed, military themed, and that's very supported? Like, I don't know. I wish I could just feed everybody for free. Obviously we can't do that. We've had to make a business about it, but in the same sense, we give back as much as we can. I cut different costs, like for veterans discounts it's 50 cents for a beverage, where most places they'll charge $1.95 or more.
$2.95
or some $2.95, but that's the thing, we're going to give as many discounts as we can, because it's not about making we're losing a lot of profit, but it's not about that for us. It's about we're staying in business, and that's our mission, and it's more than breakfast and lunch for us.
It's the thing, we want to be thankful and appreciative and supportive, and just be grateful for people. It is important for us. You're a veteran, thank you for your service. We definitely, you're treated better. Everyone's treated equally, and if you're not a veteran, you're very welcome as well. We're all community members. I'm not a veteran, and I don't want people to ever feel bad when I say, "Oh, are you a veteran?" Because I'm asking for your if you need a discount. And I try to make them know we're all community members. Everyone's just as important as everyone else. But I am very thankful for your service and what you've done for our country and for our people. So, but what else were you gonna say about?
Just basically, it all comes down to every place I've ever worked at. Like, I never really felt like they were doing anything to better, like, the community or better people's lives. Like, even like the individuals that work there, the employees. Like, I hate that word. What we have is we have team members. We are team leaders. We are Top Gun team leaders. Top Gun egg slingers. That's what I say. But we've earned it, we can do it, but we put our mind to it, and it's 10% talk and it's 90% action.
And we are not by any means perfect at all, because we have very bad days. There's been days recently where we've been closed because, it's a big mental strain, and it really is. And if you have someone with PTSD or, traumatic brain injuries or, any mental illness, it's hard. It's hard to live, every day, and it's hard to get up every day. And
Okay, let's take a break from the interview and take a closer look at some of this delicious food we've been talking about. We stayed here for 2 weeks back in February, and we probably ate here close to 10 times in that 2 weeks. That's just how good the food is here. This is Shelly's mushroom, Swiss peppers, chicken sandwich. Chicken patty is grilled, and it is actually bigger than the bun. Huge order of fries. This is my bacon cheeseburger with a fried egg on top. Again, look at the huge portions and also how big that order of fries are. We had breakfast with friends one day, and I had the biscuits and gravy with hash browns, and that's just a massive order, and it's probably some of the best biscuits and gravies I've had in a long time. Our friend here across from me, she had eggs Benedict with home fries. Again, very, very delicious. Shelly's Club sandwich is even larger than it looks in the picture. And our friend's bacon cheeseburger, again, huge patty. Bacon is cooked to order, and so it's not laying around getting dried out, wilted, and rubbery. It's cooked when you order the burger. It's like all the rest of their food. Here's their menu, their booths. Strong supporters of not just the military but the community, and as people donate stuff, they display it. So it's kind of eclectic and quirky, and I love it. So let's get back to that interview.
I got a new word. I tell them, like, if I'm getting a little bit upset and stuff, I just tell everybody, say ceasefire, and I'll walk out the back door. So it's like you got, because you know, I do have stressors and I have, you know, triggers and anxieties, and you know, my therapy helped take away nightmares and different things. Like I got past it, I moved forward. That's where a lot of people get stuck in the past, and it's hard for them to move forward. I even see some of that here with some of our community members or veteran community members as well. So for us, it's huge. Like, you know, I heard a story from one guy and he teared up, and you know, he hasn't told anybody that story probably in a long time. So for me, that stuff's huge. So, you know, just them being able to come in here and talk about stuff and get stuff off their chest and have a good day is huge. So, you know, I don't know, man. Because for me, everywhere else it's just money, 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 greed, 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 take, take, take. But if we give back and we help each other out, we support each other, we can all be successful. And it's too easy, and it's not easy at all, but it really is too easy. Because the more like my team here gets smaller, the more cohesive it gets, and we're like a 7-8 man team now, because I think we just hired a team member today.
Yeah, she was good.
And she came in at a great, the thing about this place is everything happens in its time. If I get something donated and I don't feel that I should put it up yet, I'm like, that's not really the time to do it. I have an area where it's like a stack of donations basically, like in a storage area, and like I know when it needs to go because I just know. I don't know how we know, but things work out. Like even that coming in, it's like that needs to go there. And Tom, he's a local woods worker. He gave me all these branches and insignias back here. I had them stored for maybe like 2 or 3 months because I didn't know what I was going to do with them yet or where they were supposed to go. And then one day, like I think Papa John brought in this UFC parking area on his 90th birthday. Somebody from California got it for him and sent it here for him. So that was the very first thing I put below the counter. And then but nothing goes.
And slowly it kind of okay, that's
and then even my son put like some robot stickers over there. It's just but and that's
they just stayed. But that's his best friend.
Basically,
it's pretty cool.
Everything around here is donated or like this and that, or a lot of it's our stuff too, but it's the military themed thing. It goes along with it. Like you said, the Batman hanging from up there. In the Batman movies, there's actually like military presence or stuff like that. And and Ghostbusters, that was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A lot of our stuff leaks in here too. Like we're big like 80s, 90s.
But the cool
so
thing
we have like Predator and King Kong and Action Man. And
even Predator.
We had Freddy Krueger, and they just kind of pop up. And that's someone said that today. I like coming in and seeing all that, and like it always changes. You're always getting something else. There's always stuff coming in and coming out.
But it's all military themed, and like even all those movies and such, there's a military presence within the movie. So that's how it's interesting how like I thought about it the other day. I was like, I guess that's all military tied in as well. So it's just crazy how it is, multi-era, multi-generation.
Yeah. So how long have you been in business here?
Since May 25th, 2018. We got the keys to the building February 26, 2018, which is I was heading into Cracker Barrel, and then I was ready to go to work, and then I got the call to come here to get the keys because it was a go, and that was my last day at Cracker Barrel. So it was, then we, eight years,
3 months.
Yeah, 8 years, it was closed down. We got the keys February 26, it was, we got it fully operational by May 25th, so in 3 months, we got fully operational for business.
So you took a huddle house that had been closed and abandoned for 8 years and opened a restaurant in 3 months.
Yes,
the only thing that was in here were these tables and the lamps. Everything else is
and with like a very minimal budget, like an extremely minimal budget.
That
$25,000.
I don't care what your budget was. That timeline is amazing.
I do it
every single day.
How many nights I didn't sleep?
I can imagine there was you would go home. You tell me if I'm wrong. You go home after working here all day trying to do something, and as soon as you get home, take a shower, eat dinner or whatever, you start thinking about what needs to be done, and you end up back over here. How many times did that happen?
That right now.
How many times did that happen?
But yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to sleep because I know I haven't done X, Y, and Z. Even though I'm supposed to do it tomorrow, why can't I just go ahead and do it now and get it done?
We're here every day with our son.
I wish there was way more time in the day.
How old is he? 3? Our son was, I think, 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's 5 now.
Yeah.
So he was 3 years old, and he was here every day with us. Our children help paint the back. I mean, it's like you haven't really been here too much on the weekends when my kids have been here. So, but
Yeah.
a lot of times our kids come, they'll help serve, and they bus tables or whatever. And they've been busy this past couple weekends. But it's a family thing. We have kids here, and
Yeah, we're
and they
pretty
help
proud
out.
about that. And it basically was just her and I. I mean,
My dad helped a lot.
we had to say, yeah, it was just her and I that initially started it. But once we learned that we could not take care, I mean, it was way bigger than we would ever. It's way bigger than us. It's way bigger than we thought it would be.
Yeah.
It's way bigger than the idea I had when I brought it to James Rosingen like 5 years ago now. It's just crazy how it all adds up. But for me, it's huge. For me, it's like and I don't think for me it's huge. I think for a lot of people it's huge, and I think that there's a lot of good things that are going to come. It's me busting my butt and having sleepless nights and taking a lot of the burden from, because it's a restaurant, just like being in combat. It's stressful. It's just one of the hardest.
It's very fast paced.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest positions there are.
The most stressful jobs.
I think you picked one of the most stressful jobs. I mean, not only to be a business owner, but to be a business owner of a restaurant. I mean that.
I think we wanted the challenge.
So you have to,
in the morning.
Yes, we open at 6, so you have to be
I'm
up
not
at
sure
4:30
what.
every day.
I'm not sure what you could have done to make this more stressful.
I was crazy enough to go to Iraq, be a Calf Scout. But for me, it's way bigger than me, and I believe that I was blessed to have my hands and my legs and my brain still here a little bit, for the most part. But I believe that we're destined for different things than I don't know how to explain stuff because I don't know.
Explain.
I'm gonna keep rambling on.
When we
That's fine. You're fine.
When we first opened, we had ideas like, I hope we chose, like we were from Lake County, but I mean, we did a 35-page business. He wanted a business plan, and we did 35 pages, and we did a lot of research, and we, found out, hey, this is the area where most veterans are, in this area, and there's no place that really offers discounts. There's not really any support, and this is a time where people want to support their country. You want to support the firefighters and the police officers, and it's a time that finally people are supported, because there was a long time, obviously, no one wanted to even tell, like our Papa John. He said, I came back from Vietnam. I didn't tell people I was in Vietnam. He said, no one wanted to speak to me.
Yep.
But nowadays you can come and you can shake hands, and people come and they sit together and, they meet. Actually, Papa John came in today, and a gentleman came in about 30 minutes before and said, does that CV guy come in? I said, he'll be here today. He's just not in yet. And he came in, and they were in the same unit in Vietnam.
Wow.
And I had someone else come in later today who said that they met their neighbors, and they were in, they were somewhere maybe it was Korea. I think they were in Korea together. And he's like, now we're next door neighbors. It's just a really small world. And for us, we're like, I hope that, hope veterans will come. I hope veterans. But now people come and they meet each other and they make friends with each other. And, they see someone with a veteran hat and they'll be over there talking to each other. And it's like people feel comfortable. Right when we opened, we had a lady, one of like the first weeks, and she left a, positive review. And she said, I came in for breakfast with my dad, and he told me stories of war that I never heard from him. I'm 40 years old, and he wouldn't talk to me, but he felt comfortable open up and talking and feeling, and that's what we wanted. And we've been lucky that, because now people know about us, and it's kind of like a hub for veterans. That's what we wanted to do. Like, we want, if someone says, hey, I have a veteran who needs this or that, I say, well, maybe we can't help you, but we'll find someone who can. We know a lot about different programs and different organizations that we want people to come here and say, hey, where do I do this? And they'll say, well, we'll let me help you, let us find out. We have a board up front that's just for veterans and veteran businesses, and we put every week in the paper the daily commercial, which is local here. There is one of our customers. His name is Keith Solomon. Keith Oliver. I always want to say Solomon. Sorry, Keith. Keith Oliver, and he is a like a combat reporter, and he does is it called the Salute?
Salute.
Yeah. Every Saturday he interviews a different local veteran, and and talks about their service and their and he has a whole article. So every Saturday we hang up the paper there, and we have an article hanging up, and anyone who comes in that's a veteran business, they can put their business cards on the board, or any veteran, organization or event. Like we have the Walking for Awareness, I believe that's coming up this weekend. So we put that kind of stuff up, and so people, people like to, see those kind of things and support those. And we've met a lot of great people. Do you want to get the cane? from Free Canes for Veterans is another local
You want me to?
gentleman. Yes, right there. Just grab it. His name is Oscar, and he makes
Oh,
free
wow.
canes for veterans
That's
out
amazing.
I don't know if you can see it on there, but
Yeah.
out of like
We'll
actual
get some pictures of that later.
driftwood
Too.
and
That's
different things
beautiful.
that he finds. We actually Christmas trees not this last year, but the year before. We asked people to bring in their Christmas trees, and they brought all their trees in the back, and then they took them to Oscar's house and uses those to make free canes. So he takes a veteran, finds out what branch you are, what did you like, and he creates a cane specially designed just for you. And everyone's different. Everything's different. He has guns on some. It's just whatever you like. Is that and whatever it feels like is coming from the wood is what he does. So we've
That's
met
awesome.
a lot of awesome people
that's
along
his
the
mission.
way.
His mission is growing, and,
Yeah, he's got a lot
and a lot of
lately.
and a lot of guys that he's donated these to. They've passed on and whatnot, but you're just having that support is huge. From other veterans, from other support channels, whatever it is, it's just huge. It's amazing to see other missions doing well and helping so many other people out too.
Absolutely.
It's not just about us, it's about everyone and getting everyone else's word out. If I can talk about another organization quick, if you don't
Please,
mind, I'll give a little
absolutely.
plug. We also are really thankful for Gratitude America, which is how would you explain it? Like a retreat. It's a 3-day retreat for post 9/11 veterans, but it's not just for after 9/11. There's been some Vietnam veterans that come in, and it's a 3-day retreat for you and your support person. And you go and you spend days horseback riding. You might do kayaking. It depends on which location you go to. You have classes, therapy together. You do it together with your partner, and you do it separate. So they take the veterans, and they'll be in a group, and then the support people will get their own group. And then it's a lot about PTSD and learning PTSD growth.
Yeah, they've changed it. They've looked at it a different way, tried a different approach. It's post traumatic growth instead of post traumatic stress or whatnot. So, because there's nothing that's what's right with us. There's nothing that's what's wrong with us. That's what's right with us can't fix type of thing. So
I like that. That's a good. That's
there's
a good
nothing
line.
that's what's wrong with us. That's what's right with us can't fix.
Yeah.
And it's amazing some of the stuff they do there. We've been called back as a senior couple. We've been able to go back, and because the first retreat we went on it wasn't all combat veterans. It was a mixture, which doesn't matter. But the next one we went to was bought out by the next two we went to was bought out by SOCOM, and then they sent guys that they felt that needed to go, and a lot of those guys were active, and it's huge because you're just getting a lot of stuff off your chest that you don't normally get off, or learning about different things, or it's a huge learning experience in a short amount of time, but it's very impacting, and I remember that stuff it was yesterday, and it's
You go in and
crazy.
you're nervous because you're like, I don't know these people. How
Sure,
am I going
yeah.
to talk? And you're with different veterans and different important. Okay.
By the time
And
you
literally
leave,
by the
you're
time
all,
you
holding
leave, you're
hands and-
crying.
Yeah,
We write.
it's
gonna cry right now.
ridiculous.
You write letters to yourself that they send you later on.
Wow.
You write letters, like an anonymous letter, and then we exchange them at the end, and you can read it then. You can go and, when you take, we still have the letters from, that we've had, and, you don't know who you're getting it from, so you just make it like an open letter. And, but, and then you write a letter to yourself that they send you in the future, because you're on high when you leave there. You're
Yeah.
really, but, obviously at some point you're going to come down. That's just to remind you. And, it's about learning how to, deal and live together.
Mindfulness,
Yeah.
stepping back, and
They do
just
art. It's
figuring stuff out.
3 days, it'll totally rejuvenate you. You feel really good afterwards, just being able to spend that time.
And that's the stuff we want to share, because that's their mission. And there's a lot of different missions, and if we share our missions with each other, it makes for better days.